We can just ask like anyone from the server. Like, Emma, do you want to judge this, man?
I didn't hear you exactly. What did you say?
Yeah, I'm asking if Tenma, the guy in the fucking voice chat, wants to judge.
No.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We can just send the recording to someone later. Oh my fucking god, Cheatspeed! It's you! I didn't even realize that's you, Cheatspeed. Holy shit!
Yeah. What? Okay. it's a bit.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even
It's a bit
realize.
unexpected reaction.
Yo, I'm actually fucking fried, bro. Yeah, okay. Bro, I'm sorry. I didn't even realize. Okay, yeah, sure. What did you want to like say?
Are we going to explain again feats, or we'll just
No, we can just like jump right into the argumentation, honestly, because we both know each other's feats, right? Unless you're using something else.
we'll gonna be starting.
Yeah, okay, so why do you think? Huh?
Why did I think Dexter takes Yumeko for EM, right?
Yeah.
So maybe I can stop for a little, because I don't trust my English that much. Sometimes I will probably use translate, but I will try to explain as I capable. So basically, what you are saying about Yumeko's neuroplasticity is false, in my opinion, because you're saying Yumeko being Yumeko having like insanely good learning ability, like he can't sponge everything, isn't exactly. I just
Hello?
I need to think about my English isn't enough in here.
Okay,
I
it's fine.
actually prefer making it in text rather than voice chat.
Yeah, but like text debates take so long. You can just take your time, don't worry.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Okay, yeah, so just when you're ready, you can say it.
Okay, I will just. So I don't know what you said about Yumeko's neuroplasticity, correct? Because neuroplasticity also works in both that direction. It doesn't only reinforce your addiction; it also process that allows you to break free from it. Yeah, Yumeko constantly observes other people gambling. Yeah, that's all. That's probably strengthens his addiction, but It also ignores Dexter's character. Actually, didn't say about it, but it also ignores Dexter constantly seeing hallucinations about he kills people, which also makes Dexter condition bad because his addiction constantly gets strange. You understand what?
Yeah. But my point about Yumeko's emotional management wasn't just like through her neuroplasticity or whatever. One of my core arguments also was how she had the genetic disposition for these dopamine related addictions, right? Because everyone in her lineage was addicted to gambling, like, I don't know, since their birth, basically. And them being so prone to it that they're basically known for it was just the point that I wanted to bring across for why her disposition is so great, right? And also, the point about neuroplasticity that it like rewires your brain faster, right? You said that it works in both ways because you also reorganize your brain faster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, even if I were to grant that, like those neural pathways are already super strengthened since she's been doing it since her early childhood, and also, um, while she's trying to reconfigure it, she doesn't get the opportunity to do so because of her environment, right?
Yes.
And also, the behavior to not gamble is seen as a negative thing, basically. So it's going to elicit negative emotions if she doesn't gamble because it's like seen as a positive thing, basically, within her environment, right? That's why I mentioned that point about neuroplasticity so often. And the thing about hallucinations, sure, you can grant that, you know, Dexter had these hallucinations and stuff, but like also the fact that he's even prone to these hallucinations, like he doesn't have anything external to validate such a strong reaction with these hallucinations and stuff. That already shows how his emotional management is not too great. And also, um, Dexter's behavior, like I said in the debate itself, um, is basically he doesn't have like anything that reinforces the addiction while he's doing it, right? These addictions, I mean hallucinations, do they tell him to kill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He literally puts and kills other people's in these hallucinations, and then realize, he literally do nothing. He just saw a hallucination about killing people.
Okay, wait. So, okay, so he's hallucinating about killing people, but is that hallucination like making him feel good, or is it just like not described or whatever?
No, it's not making Dexter good because he's trying to change, and it makes also he's a bit upset. Actually, it's not a good way to express this. I can say his reactions on that hallucinations process isn't healthy for his emotions. I can say, at least. Like
Yeah, okay.
he's constantly stressing about it.
Yeah, okay, then if these hallucinations are making him feel bad about killing, then that just goes to show about my point of him like being extrinsically motivated to stop his addiction, right? That's why I kept mentioning in Yumeko's case how it would be seen as a negative thing to not gamble, while in Dexter's case it would be seen as a positive thing to not kill people. Like these emotions basically being positive or negative or whatever, increasing the motivation to do so would just like make it harder to manage, right? And because he obviously feels stressed and bad after being in these hallucinations, he would like have further motivation to just not kill people, right?
He feel bad because he can't kill peoples. It's
Oh,
about that.
yeah, okay, that's what you meant. But it's not comparable with Yumeko's case because Dexter doesn't like actually have other people that reinforce this behavior. It's just like, I don't know, himself, I guess.
Actually, what I'm trying to say is, actually, Dexter's hallucinates reinforce him to do this killing behavior. Like you saying, yeah, other people's is wants to stop Dexter killing from. He's trying to make Dexter from free this addiction, but this is not such a big deal in my opinion because Dexter don't have a capacity like he can understand other people's intentions or like his reasons. He's killing animals or people since his childhood. It become his addiction. It's his daily habit. It's just a way of he life living their live life. It's a bit.
I got what you mean. Yeah. But like that also works for Yumeko's case. So mentioning it just to upscale Dexter himself, like I don't know, it doesn't matter honestly because Yumeko also has that thing, and she does it since her childhood.
Yeah. It's a point for. It's also valid point for Yumeka, but the difference in here, like you say, then neuroplasticity. He like Yumeko deals with like for 1 month, and he's making this his for like goals. But killing is Dexter's like daily his daily behavior. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's also Yumeko's behavior, but what I'm trying to say is completely different. Yumeko has a strategic motivation, but Dexter don't have any kind of strategic motivation. He's just trying to save himself from this addiction completely, and he deals with this for months. Also, it's also neuroplasticity. Our argument works for Dexter in here because his neuroplasticity is way more slower than Yumeko. Dealing with this process is also way more harder than Yumeko for Dexter. Like yeah, yeah, there's no people around Dexter maybe reinforcing this addiction, but his neuroplasticity being lower than Yumeko is also like balancing side of this feat. You understand, right?
Yeah. Okay.
It's balances.
About your earlier point of it being like not strategically motivated or whatever. What makes you? I mean, what makes Dexter just decide not to kill anybody?
It's about season 8 final. His brother being killed and serial killer, and he understands he's being serial killer constantly makes people around him disappear and kill, and he feels bad about it because he lost close people to him, and he decides to change this behavior. He don't have any strategic motivation. He just wants to change his their life because he cares people around him. Like caring, actually not a good word. He's since he's a psychopath and can't really empathy with person. But yeah, he's still have that capacity for like caring things belongs to him because it belongs to him.
Okay, wait, then that just like reinforces my point because Dexter's motivation here would just be purely based on emotions, which are like actually able to facilitate that action more, while Yumiko's is purely strategic, right? We both can agree on that. But like intrinsic motivation, right, that you have to bring forth by yourself is actually more potent. So that would just like basically make Dexter's feat more easier. And also, you mentioned that Yumiko only has to do it for a month, while Dexter has to do it for 10 years, right? Um, that honestly, that doesn't even matter because after a certain point in your addiction, those neuroplastic synapses that just made you addicted in the first place, right? Those get built off anyway. So your dopamine baseline will just lower after a certain amount of time. So if you do it for 1 month or 10 years or 100 years or whatever, it doesn't even fucking matter. Just because you'll basically have the normal baseline after a certain amount of time, right? So I don't know why you like bring up that point.
No, it's as I said, it's this agrees that they're constantly hallucinating about killing people that which reinforce the killing process, like Yumeko. Yeah, you're right about wanting. Yeah, his dopamine baseline will become certain rate after 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, but after like it's also same applies for Yumeko. His dopamine baseline will also become unimportant for him. It's all as as I see Yumeko's neuroplasticity also way more higher than Dexter, which makes way more easier than Dexter for this process.
I mean, the reason why I mentioned the neuroplasticity in the first place is because with greater neuroplasticity, those pathways for the addiction would just be strengthened more, right, over time. And with greater neuroplasticity, your mirror neurons will basically synchronize other people's behavior more, right? So when you're watching everyone else gamble, while your neuroplasticity is so great, you'll have those neural pathways built faster. So she can't even like do the process of resynergizing or whatever, which you mentioned through neuroplasticity, just because of her environment. So that process doesn't even like happen in Yumeko's case.
I'm repeating myself like a
Okay, okay.
second, but yeah,
It's fine. Do you just want to
it's
conclude honestly? Like we repeated ourselves so often. It's fine.
yeah. But yeah, as I say, Dexter's constantly seeing hallucinations is also reinforces this process. Also, Dexter has way more lower neuroplasticity for the more lower neuroplasticity than Yumeko, which makes process harder for Dexter. Like Yumeko, like making Yumeko's being more neuroplasticity is makes harder for this process. Is also Dexter being way more level neuroplasticity than Dexter makes process harder for Dexter. It's like balancing side of for both characters.
I guess, bro. Yeah, okay, sure. We can just agree that it balances the stuff, but like that point about her disposition to the addictions, still being like very strong, you haven't refuted at all.
Wait, can you repeat yourself again?
You haven't addressed my argument about Yumeko's disposition for dopamine-related addictions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, I need to say last thing about the genetic factor. Yeah, I also searched about this. Yeah, gambling addiction also have genetic sides, but we also need to say Dexter's brothers also feel same showing we can observe same behaviors is also in Dexter brothers. It's probably trauma based. It's probably trauma based, but it also have same genetic some genetic map about this psychopathy, which makes both of them similar in being like in being psychopath. You probably understand.
Yeah. I know psychopaths. Yeah, but the point is though that in Yumiko's case, the disposition is just way greater. Like, for example, for Dexter's family, not everyone is so fucking like addicted to dopamine or whatever that everyone has like an addiction related to it, right? You have, for example, Deborah, who isn't a fucking serial killer either, right? So obviously that wouldn't extend to like basically everyone. Unlike with Yumiko's case, where every single family member she has is like an insane fucking gambling addict.
Yeah. I wanted to point that for Dexter because both of the characters have same kind of genetic the genetic size for this for both characters addiction, which also makes, in my opinion, both Yumeko and Dexters emotional management better. And I wanted to address this again. This for Dexter too.
Okay.
I think we don't need to really repeat ourselves again.
Yeah, I agree. If you want, we can just conclude. Honestly, it doesn't even need to be judged. We can just leave it as a discussion. But if you really want to get it judged, I'm also fine with that.
I don't know. We can judge, but it's really that much important. I don't know. Yeah, let's judge. Probably I cooked, but let's judge.
Okay. Do you want someone from this voice chat to judge?
Tenma, maybe. I don't know. I actually didn't care. I just judged in here.
Yeah. How about V90 or Dragonfish, for example?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just save the recording.